justify war crimes. Their whole job is to come up with
Why are all Hassan fans so fucking smug? Like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy smug shit, dude.
a case to justify war crimes.
Well, why did they say that there was particular issues with some legal arguments about the pagers? Why did they say that? Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that their job is to...
It's crazy how much they mirror him, like mirror Hassan. Yeah, they also mirror Hassan in losing a debate, all right, and not knowing what they're talking about. Like did he say like battle ready, as in like anybody is battle ready, or do you mean battle ready as in like you're a reservist in a fucking wow? She's skipping and hopping. Holy shit, as in like, you know, in the barracks.
justify war crimes? Do you think the Lieber Institute hasn't called out war crimes?
I'm trying to figure out what they're actually arguing about. I think what they're arguing about is it's justified to explode pagers on battle ready people, all right? However, according to him, the definition of battle ready, all right, the reason why the words battle ready does not work here is because it includes healthcare workers, other people who are not just military combatants, right? But according to Lonerbox, I guess the words battle ready means like, oh, you're in the barracks or something, right? That's what I assume the distinction is, but yeah.
No, what did I say?
You
they
don't
haven't
know.
called out war crimes.
Well, if it's their job to justify war crimes.
Their job is to justify war crimes, yes. They come
According
up with
to who?
Explanations for why war crimes are actually not crimes.
That's just an opinion. Actually, most of my opinion on this is formed by reading about IHL.
What is your next question?
No, we haven't got past the first question yet. You can't explain why you think that you don't know the difference between a reservist and someone in continuous combat function.
I told you I do not accept your amateur interpretation of international law that pagers make you a continuous combatant as opposed
it's not
to
the when did I say the pagers make you a combatant?
That's what you said. That's literally what you said.
The pagers are an indicator that they were battle ready because they were ready to be activated at any moment by being called up by a pager. Because that's what Hezbollah does.
That is what you're doing. It has nothing to do with international law. No, there's nothing in international law that says a pager is an indicator that you're battle ready. This is your own amateur interpretation.
I mean, I have to assume like the pagers, Winter's way more tolerable than this guy. Yeah, because even though Winter is smug, he's endearing. There's no way this guy is endearing. Like, this guy is actually butt mad. All right? At least Winter is more easygoing, you know? But, okay, so people with pagers are battle ready. What that means is, I'm guessing, like, if they're battle ready, what does that mean? So, they were meant to go to soldiers. They were meant to go to Hezbollah soldiers, right? Like, that's the entire point of the pagers. They were meant to go to Hezbollah soldiers. It wasn't meant to go to regular civilians. But other regular civilians are going to be caught in the crossfire anyway if they touch the pagers, right? I'm assuming that's what's being said here. Okay.
I'm clear now. I'm clear now. I could say a cell phone is an indicator that you're battle ready.
Okay, so tell me why I'm wrong about continuous combat function.
Well, it's not just a cell phone. If it was just like random ass cell phones detonated on random random Lebanese like individuals, and that's kind of fucked up, right? But the entire point why it's who do you think are the kinds of people who use walkie-talkies, right? Probably soldiers, right? Operatives. It's probably operatives that use walkie-talkies. It's probably, operatives that use pagers, right? In that scenario. And I don't even think they're like bugging all walkie-talkies and all pagers, right? It's specifically the pagers and walkie-talkies that is probably going to, like military individuals. Like, do you think they're just randomly bugging them? International humanitarian law is pretty loose. It means individuals who are authorized to participate directly in hostilities during an armed conflict. And honestly, like, in a way, like, fuck, it's a complicated discussion. But can't you also, like, justify, like, violence against, like, I don't know, civilians if civilians are already ready to be drafted into a war? Like, fuck. Like, it is a complicated discussion. I'm not saying that it's I'm not saying that it's an easy discussion, right? Like, fuck.
Depends what they're using the cell phone for, doesn't it? If they're using the cell phone to say that they're at any moment you can get phone call from Hezbollah, from one of the forces, and then you just go and fire rockets. Yes, that would make you a combatant if you're doing it with a phone.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I reject your idea, and it
Is it
does
not,
go
though?
back to them not
If you're
being
ready
the head
to
of
just
state.
like, if you're like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away or an hour away from getting a call or a
It does
text
go back.
and you go
Yeah,
and
but
fire a
same
rocket,
could be
does that
true
mean
of
you're
a
a
reservist in
civilian?
Tel Aviv.
You know what's so funny about like debates like this is that like I always think to myself, okay, I'm completely out of my depth here, okay? I don't know what these guys are talking about. This is a complicated issue. It requires a lot of analysis. This is a super complicated thing that's going on, right? And then I just hear like these Hassan fans and these lefties who have just a completely unjustified level of a completely unjustified level of confidence. Like the amount of confidence that they have is insane. So which makes me think like it gives me more confidence inadvertently to engage with these topics, because it's like, fuck, like if they think that they're confident enough to debate Lonerbox on this, I should be like confident enough to cover Lonerbox debating them on this, you know? Yeah, it's kind of like this inadvertent fucking confidence that's happening.
No, it
And not
doesn't.
just
There you go.
reservists,
Thank you. Thank you.
off-duty
Thank you so much.
officers, off-duty officers.
Thank you so much for admitting you don't know
No,
fucking.
no, 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 no,
Yes,
no,
you
no.
admitted you don't know.
Off-duty officers.
Wait, what happens when a
Off-duty
reservist gets called
officers.
up? What happens when a
Are you
reservist gets called
listening
up?
to me?
No, you just admitted you don't know
What?
fucking anything. You know what you're talking about.
What did I?
What
Okay, what did I
happens-
admit? Say your.
Tell me
say your
what
argument.
happens. Tell me what happens when a reservist gets called up for duty by a state.
What
What's the
happens can
process?
vary depending on the scenario. What the hell are you
It's
talking
not a
about?
fucking answer.
You want-
What typically happens when they get called up?
You want me to lay out? You get cold. You go to a military base. You get equipped. You get like what the hell do
get
you want?
cold
Does a reservist
Cold.
get?
What
Does a
level
reservist
of
get a?
detail do you
yeah.
expect me to go through?
Does a reservist get a call up and then they're just ready to fight like within a few hours?
What the hell is this question? Make your point if you want to. Okay, so let me get
Oh,
this
you're
straight.
actually going to give me the opportunity to
think that
explain,
you've
but
assumed
everything that I
that- wait,
explained,
wait.
you're just going to call
You've
it an
assumed
amateur
that
interpretation.
Hezbollah fighters are combat ready within 10 minutes.
This guy reminds me of Brow Kitchen House and Emery, like debating them at the same time. Oh my god, so stupidly painful. By the way, I am gonna release that debate on my channel at the very least because I participate in it, so I think I have a right to it. I'm gonna release that debate after this stream. Okay.
It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. I said it
okay?
can be 10 minutes or a few hours,
No, you
but
said
yes,
10
that was what
minutes.
happened. Yeah.
So
No, I didn't just say
painful.
10
You said
minutes.
10 minutes.
I said 10 minutes or.
Do you see what you're
Are
trying
you
to? You're
clip chipping me in
desperately
real
trying to
time?
find a
Are
flaw.
you actually
You're
clip
desperate-
chipping me
you're
in real
operating-
time?
Wait, you're
How many times did I
operating-
say?
You're
Did I
operating
really?
on nothing.
What's the only time scale I
Listen,
gave
wait,
10 minutes?
You're operating on nothing. You have
Yeah.
no objective facts.
You
no
said they targeted
reasonable
civilians when
interpretation
Hezbollah
This
called out
guy's so
fighters.
mad. And
law.
for what?
You came up with this nonsense 10 minutes.
I didn't come up with
and then
it.
you said
I said it could be 10 minutes. It could also be what else? A few hours? Did you ignore me? Or are you actually just trying to clip chip me like you do in your fucking Twitter accounts in real time?
No, I'm not.
You
I'm
fucking
saying,
retard. Why would you
a
even
few
try
hours,
to do
I
that?
don't care.
Holy shit.
I don't care. 10
That's the
minutes, a few
difference between a
hours.
reservist and continuous
is-
combat function.
These are things you're pulling
Oh,
out of
hang
your
on.
ass, Lonerbox. Okay.
So if I found
the
it at
Hezbollah
IHL, you
briefing,
change your mind. Let me find
Why
it.
is he so mad?
The Hezbollah briefing said, "Here's our brave fighters who
Nice.
died. They were all ready to fight within a few hours." Not made
No.
up by Lonerbox. I don't give a shit what your assumptions are about how quick they are to fight. We're not in the realm of international law. Do you understand that? We're
Well, you're
so
not.
far outside because your amateur
hard to speak? I'm sorry.
interpretation is trying to bring us to a place that has nothing to do with international law.
Okay, so this is
And
from
combat
the
ready,
Red
you're on a
Cross.
military base.
This is from the Red Cross, okay? Let me find it. Continuous combat function requires lasting integration into an organized armed group acting as the armed forces of a non-state party to an armed conflict. Sounds like Hezbollah to me. Thus, individuals whose continuous function
You said
involves...
it wasn't about non-state. That was the first thing I brought up was state versus
It's just that
non-state.
most
And I said it rejected it. And by the way, the excerpt you're reading is about an interpretation of the law. It's not the law itself.
It's whose interpretation is it?
The Red Cross.
Okay, so is the Red Cross's job to justify war crimes?
And I didn't say it was their job, but
Okay, so I'm just going to
point
keep
is,
reading so we can listen to the people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Thus, individuals whose continuous function involves the preparation,
First, you
execution,
didn't know what you were talking about. You
or
said it wasn't
command
about
or
state.
acts or
The
operations
first thing I brought up was
amounting
state.
to
You made
direct
it about
participation
10 minutes and
in
pagers.
hostilities are assuming continuous combat function. An individual recruited, trained, and equipped by such a group to continuously and directly participate in hostilities on its behalf can be considered to assume a continuous combat function even before he or she first carries out a hostile act. act. This case must be distinguished from persons comparable to reservists who, after a period of basic training or active membership, leave the armed group and reintegrate into civilian life. Such reservists are civilians until and for such time as they are called back to active duty. Do you have an IHL opinion that contradicts that I can see, please?
Yes, yeah. The first thing I said, which you immediately moved past because you said it's not about state versus non-state, and that's literally what this is about: state versus non-state. So
Well,
you moved past the argument. You went to amateur bullshit international law. You moved me past what I was gonna say, which has to do with actual international law.
So I'm just going to ask you the same question again because you're not answering it. Do you have an alternative opinion in IHL that contradicts what I just said?
Yeah, Hezbollah. Yeah, no. What I said is I don't agree with your interpretation that
it's not my interpretation. That's the Red Cross.
As non-state actors and therefore lose their protection when they're in a civilian setting.
They don't lose it because there's non-state actors by default. Hezbollah is a part of the
government of Lebanon. Hezbollah is a part of the government of Lebanon. Okay?
Is the military? Wait! Fuck you, man! Is the military non-state or is it state?
Just because
is the Hezbollah military state or non-state?
Just because they're not the exclusive government.
Hezbollah military state or
part
non-state?
Of the government.
Yeah, and did they vote in the existence of their military?
They are a part of the government. I reject the idea.
Did they vote in their military?
Because they are not the exclusive government. That therefore protections which are meant to stop attacks on civilians, reckless attacks in civilian areas, those protections should no longer apply. I reject that.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Is the Hezbollah military sanctioned by the state then? So they use their what did they do? Did they use their parliament members to vote on the existence of Hezbollah having a military? Is that how that happened? Or are you just saying they have a few seats in parliament, therefore them having a
Holy shit. Hold the phone. Mike Pence sent a letter to the J6 protester who